Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 29 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Minecraft 1.21. Hooray! Where today I've decided that I would like to have a sub-basement. Pretty standard for Dire to have a sub-basement like this, but you know, we're still going to try to do some other buildings too, like we did with our Ars Nouveau one, which I think turned out pretty nice. But I'm gonna do my standard sub-basement because one of the things when you're early game, especially with like all your wiring and cabling, you kind of want everything to be relatively close to each other so you can set up all your automation near each other. So there's like a bunch of little automations we're going to want to set up today. For example, I'm going to want to like auto smelt using my new crafting system from Applied Energistics. I'm going to want to automate some of these dudes. So rather than having them up in this main area here, what I'm thinking is my sub basement is where I usually like to throw like the infrequently accessed automations, things that I don't have to go mess with too often. So it's kind of like the, put it down there and it'll be fine. That's the plan. So I've gone ahead and set up my cut and paste gadget here, and I figured we'd click the cut button on camera. So there we go. Hooray! It's working. Nice. Looking not too shabby, right? Okay. So I think right here is about where I had my water previously hanging out. So that was, you know, not a great thing to leave there, so I covered that up so that it wouldn't spill water all over the place. And then this was where I accessed my clicking for cutting, so that worked. Cool. Yeah, everything worked out pretty well here. And I don't think I broke any machinery. I guess. I don't think I did. You know, we could like anchor this dude if we wanted to see if there's like any machines anywhere, but I think we're okay. Like, I don't think we actually caught any machinery. Yeah. That's nothing too crazy. Good. Okay. Cool. Anchor cleared. Nice. All right. Looking cool. A little bit of good stuff. So I'm thinking like we'll do the same thing with like the window. We'll kind of window out over this area here, and I might use a shovel if I have one. There you are. That looks good, right? Yeah, like that. Okay, definitely cool. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, that would be a nice kind of looking out deal, right? I like that. Yeah. All right, so that's going to be my thing. We're going to want another elevator because this will connect to my existing elevator. And this time we have all the wool in the world, so we don't have to worry too much about it. So right there. Cool. Looking good. So I'll pretty up the basement a little bit here in a minute. You know, all we're going to need is more glass. Is there any clear? Well, it is pretty clear with the current glass. It doesn't have much by way of, yeah, it must have some built-in connected texture thing. That actually is cool. Nice. Okay. How am I for sand? At some point soon, we should, like, semi-automate sand. Semi-automate sand. I'll have to come up with a good solution for it. Yeah. There's lots of mods in the pack that we can do that with. Lots of fun things we can do to set up, like making infinite sand, if you will. So we'll come up with something good for it. So yeah, let me spend a few minutes off camera here, just making this basement look good, and then we'll be good. Yeah, I'll be doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of you, and we'll be right back. All right, I think that's not a terrible looking basement, right? We've seen worse. Some people wanted me to make the corner upstairs have just glass on it. Not sure how I feel about it. It's not terrible. It's okay. Like, I'm not sure if I like this way better or this way. They're both viable, right? So yeah, I think that's cool. I'll leave it as is. So yeah, basement, sub basement at least, good to go. So I can put all this stuff away. Now let's look at moving some things down there. Empowering slash, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the chandelier. So those of you who've seen my Let's Play series before know I build this cool chandelier system. It's kind of going to be the centerpiece of this basement. And it's going to come right down the center here, and it's going to have a whole bunch of this stuff on it that will facilitate a ton of auto crafting capabilities for me. However, before I get into that like awesomeness, what I'm going to need to do is probably get a bunch more resources so I can craft all the components needed for it, and also automate a bunch of steps. Like for now, I'm going to need like a ton of pattern providers, right? And probably what I wouldn't even mind having is the advanced pattern provider, which is going to hold like a lot more space. It's going to hold a lot more patterns. So like in order to get that though, we're going to need, a healthy amount of stuff. Mostly more logic processors, right? So I'm gonna put that advanced pattern provider on my to-do list. And I might want the molecular assembler. I might even want the extended version of that as well. It can run 8 crafting jobs at the same time. So it's and it's a little faster than the normal one. So we might go that one. To be fair, I've never found like the base molecular assembler to be too slow. But like, yeah. That said, need some really expensive stuff. So this one not crazy expensive. This one definitely a lot more expensive. So I may or may not go that route. But we're gonna need like a lot of these, like a real lot of these, in order for this to work. If I'm not mistaken, it's like in the order of like 300-ish, right? No, 77. 77 molecular assemblers and 32 interfaces is what's needed to make this whole thing super awesome, and be like the full design of the thing. So for that, we're going to need a large number of logic processors. We're going to need a large number of quartz glass, so that means a lot of glass. So we want to automate all the components required to craft all these things, and that will make my life easier for AE2 going forward anyway. So today I want to automate some machines. So like the inscribers, and the furnace, and a couple other cool things. Does that sound like a plan? Hope so, because that's basically what we're doing. And I might even automate some power. We'll see. And a lot of that will happen down here in the basement. And I'll do similar to what I did upstairs, where I'll have little alcoves, because the center of the room is going to be the chandelier system. And then I'll have little alcoves in the walls that will do little individual smaller automations. Sound like it could be fun? I hope so, because that's basically what we're doing. So let's start with the furnace, because that'll be like the easiest to show you guys, for those of you who may not be familiar with this kind of thing. So for this, we're going to need an obsidian furnace, which is a cook time of 20. Can I bump that up? See, I could get a netherite one. How am I for ancient debris? I technically have enough for this. Do I want to do that? It really speeds up the cook time, and it means not waiting. Or do I want to hold off on using 4 netherite ingots at this point? I think I could do it. I think I'm going to go for broken do it, right? Why not? Let's go crazy. All I need is 1 more magma cream, and then we're good to go with a netherite furnace, which is going to be super fast, which will be nice for us, because when I go to autocraft things, it means I won't have to wait too long. And if you know anything about Dyer, you know he don't like waiting for stuffs. That's pretty accurate. Yeah, that's exceedingly accurate. So now that we've got that, let's go downstairs and find a nice place to set this bad boy up. So we're going to want to we're probably going to want to have some cabling running around somewhere that will allow me to run stuff in a relatively smart way. So let's get this started. I'm thinking I might want to run it back behind this wall, because I'm going to want to move these guys down too. So this line of cabling might be the way I want to do this. Yeah, I like that plan. So how about over here will be some of my simpler automations, and over there can be some of my more complex ones. Is that cool? Okay, so let's get you hammer mode. So this is going to be relatively simple. All it's going to be is a furnace, so it's just going to be like really, really simple, I think. I don't think we need any much more complexity than that. Okay. And I might turn off drops teleporter for the moment, even though I like everything going into the system there. Like, we'll see. Cool. So you guys ready to go? And then that. I kind of like this little divider here that separates things, right? So for this, we can have our netherite furnace. Now we're definitely going to need some power from power. And I'm thinking we'll use the ender gates. I've been using basics, right? Yeah, that should be cool. So I have ender, dielectric casing, and tiny capacitor. Shouldn't be a problem. And this is why I want to be able to automate this so that I don't have to do this manually anymore. Once I have this set up, I can just open my thing and be like, hey, give me the things that I want, right? But we'll get there. So now we've got 4 of these dudes, and that's cool. So how about underneath, I should be able to just attach this dude, and as soon as I put that thing in there, he should start getting power. Nice. That's cool. Okay. And then what I can do is stick a pattern provider on there. Now, I kind of want to make an advanced pattern provider, so I'm going to make one for this because you always have a ton of things you need to smell. The main difference between the regular and the advanced pattern provider is the advanced pattern provider, I thought had more patterns. Why do you only have 9 pattern slots? That's the wrong mega pattern provider. Supports processing patterns only. I don't think that's the one I want, but maybe. I thought it was advanced, right? Doesn't it say advanced? Oh. But it also shows in the UI here that it has more slots. That's interesting though. It does let you push to specific sides, which is pretty awesome. But I thought you had more slots. Why don't I see more slots with you? Induction card. Yeah, the thing said it was gonna have more slots. So maybe it's the Mega Cells one? I didn't think it was Mega Cells that I'd used in the past. Is it extended pattern provider? No. Oh, that's advanced extended. Oh, is there an extended? Yes. Extended pattern provider. Ah. Oh. Ah. I think this is the one I'm looking for. The extended pattern provider gives you more. Oh. The advanced lets you insert into other sides of the block. The extended gives you more slots. Okay. And then the extended advanced gives you other sides of the block and more. Okay. That makes sense. So we need this crystal assembler if we want to do this from Extended AE, which I think we'll get into, but not just yet. Oh, look at this. Entro-infused ingots. What are those? Oh, it's an enrolled entro dust. Okay, and that comes from entro crystals, which... Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's neat. Budding entroized fluix like Hauser's course works. To get budding entro, you need to craft entro seed and right-click fluix block with it. Okay, interesting. That's cool. We may have another growth chamber to make. We may have another growth thingy to make. Anyway, for now, let's put this away and just use a regular pattern provider. Now that I've been completely sidetracked by all the things that I would normally want to be doing. So anyway, yes. So how about we get a little bit more of you? That seems like a number that I'm happy with. Oops. So we're gonna want you. Awesome. We're gonna need more fluix, as usual. It's not too uncommon. Let's get a regular Certus. Now I did have to break a little bit of the automation that I had going on here to make this work a little bit better. But I think I'm going to break it anyway. Because I decided I'm going to switch it up to laser IO. Only because I can. Okay. And the nice thing about it is this will allow me to do things a little bit differently. Cool. So then what I'll want to do here is have my card holder. Cool, I have enough. So I will extract on white. We will filter Certus. Okay. And then we will insert on orange with a filter for charge Certus. Okay. And then you will insert on white and extract on orange. And that should get the job done once I wrench you two together. Extract on white, insert on white. And that should be working. Why aren't you? Do you care what side you get inserted into? I don't think so. Do you? Insert on the top. Are you connecting or what? There you are. Okay. I don't know why the connecting thing wasn't working, but now we're cool. Now we're cool. So now he's allowed to extract regular. He's allowed to insert charged. And that'll, so I don't have to have like, I had cables underneath and I'm just saving myself having two sets of item pipes now. Cool. Don't worry, we'll still use item pipes for stuff in the future. I promise. You know, we'll just be making a few other things. Cool. So you and then redstone. I would like half a stack of. So that means in a moment I should be cool. Make sure our magnet's off. 2 more, please. And yeah, I'm gonna need that. For now, we'll just do that, and then I'm gonna automate this bit as well. We'll just, you have to wait until I get to that point. Cool. Reasons I want to automate this equal that. Hooray! So I can do that now, and then you can upgrade into this, and then you can upgrade into that. And that's going to give me a lot of Fluix cable, which is going to be cool. Now, the other thing I might want to get into today is P2P channels, because I think that would be smart. So for that, we're going to need engineering processors. So I'm going to need a few diamonds. I want to get like 8-ish of these. Does that sound cool? That sounds like a good number to me. And then do we have any extra silicon? We do. That's awesome. So I think you're the diamond dude. This is why I want to automate this, so I don't have to do all this manually anymore. I'm looking forward to it. All right, P2P channels and networks are a lot of fun to set up. But first, we're going to need some service, or some iron. Let's see how fast our new iron furnace is. Make sure split's on. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. P2P. So as you may have noticed, it gets very pricey. Now we're also going to need a memory card, by the way, so let me get one of those before I forget. It gets very pricey to run all this dense cable, right? So if you use P2P networks, you can do it in a little bit of a less costly way, and that's what we're going to check out doing today. So to do that, first off, I want to move these guys to the basement. I think that's about the right time to do that. So we're going to move that down, and I'm going to have a nice dense cable. Do we have any more of that? No, that's all right. I'll make a few. Okay. Maybe 4 of them to start. I like that. Okay, and then we can attach a P2P network. And what that does is it will transmit all 32 channels across one channel of AE. And to do that, this one channel needs to be connected to something. And we're going to move all this stuff over to here. I might wind up doing one over here too, but we'll see. Because you've got an ME interface, which I'm probably going to want to move as well. Yeah, I have an idea on where I'm going to put that guy. Okay, so we'll run this stuff. Into the wall here. Okay. And then we can run it down. Is that where I want it to be, or do I want it to go a little bit further back because of... If I ran it down here, we wouldn't really encounter anything? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I know where I am now. Perfect. Okay, so this is where I want to connect to, right? So there's a few ways we could handle this. Basically what I'll do is I'll run my not dense cable down there. And as we have more and more stuff that we want to connect down here, this will probably change. But that's kind of the fun of playing with AE, is you get to like rearrange stuff. But this will give me an endpoint here. So basically all 32 channels that are available here will be squeezed into one channel and crossed about through that. And then once it hits the other side of the P2P, 32 channels come out, right? So if I want, I could put a dense cable here and we'd have access to all 32 of those. So that just saves you a whole bunch of dense cable being run. In order to run this, though, we are going to need some quartz fiber. And here's the trick with quartz fiber. First, I need more sand. So that's the trick with quartz fiber, is I need to get more sand. Sand acquired. Huzzah. That thing uses more energy than we can transmit, by the way. So that might be a problem for us in the future, but we'll address it when we get to it. Okay. So in order for this to work, we're going to need quartz fiber. The cool thing about quartz fiber is it can send energy through itself, but it won't send network data. So we can keep these two channels separate because we don't want these two networks to talk to each other because they're kind of separate. Like this is going to be 32 channels of like the real data, and this is going to be what's called a sub-network. It's like a smaller little individual set of channels that shouldn't ever connect to or talk to the main ones. So to keep them from talking to each other, what we can do is we can attach this dude. Let's see, I'm just going to put you away, and we can use this wrench because it's my new wrench. We can just do this and this, okay, and then we can have some Fluix cable here running like that. So what you'll notice is this guy's got two channels in use, one for this P2P and one for that P2P, and we can connect them by right-clicking, shift right-click to copy, so new device configuration created and copied to memory card, right? Now these quartz channels are only letting energy flow through because the P2Ps need to be powered, and they're getting power from the Fluix cable, and the quartz cable transfers power, right? So no data is crossing this quartz fiber, only energy is, and it's powering the network here, this little 8-channel network that facilitates my P2Ps. It's a little confusing, so if AE2 is new to you, don't. The other thing you could do is just run 32 dense cables. So if you're cool spending the 32 energy on the dense cables, that's fine. So now I right-clicked over here, and you can see the frequency output matches at the top, 1662, right? And currently it's not carrying any channels, but that's about to change because I'm going to run this dude, right, like so, right? And now it says it's carrying one channel on this frequency. How cool is that, right? So now this dude's all set and ready to roll. So I'm going to configure, now this is part of this mod, but we can configure this thingy here to, let's see, I'm going to have you on the back, input or output. And you will be configured to auto output, which means on the back of this machine, he can receive items and he'll automatically push them back into the pattern provider, which means I can set up a cool automation now. What I can do is come over here and say, hey, I would like to make glass, please. Or I could just use this glass as an example, right? And we're going to say sand goes in, glass comes out. Now, AE is pretty smart about this, and it's choosing a processing pattern as the type for this. So all the patterns we've seen so far in the series have been crafting patterns, which is the type of stuff you'd make in a crafting table, right? You put these things together in the specific order, and you get an item via like a crafting table recipe. Processing patterns are different. All they say is this item goes in, this item will come out. That's all it knows. So it doesn't matter how the machine manages to make the thing, and we can exploit this later on in the series for some smarter automations. But all you need to know about processing patterns is you tell it what item or items go in, and then what item or items come out. So that's how a processing pattern works. And now we can go put that right here, and as it sits, we should know how to make glass. And I could make 20 of those, and it tells me I need 20 sand. Right? But because I broke my crafting storage, it ain't gonna work. So we better put our crafting storage back in place. Let's do this. I'm gonna get you in 5x5 mode. Does that sound like a plan? I like that plan. Okay. Ain't no reason that plan wouldn't work. That seems cool, right? I didn't break nothing automation-wise with that. I don't think so. I think all I got was blocks and stuff. I would have had an item show up in here, which is explicitly, though I do have a fluid tank. Was that from before? I don't remember. I hope that's not an important fluid tank. I guess we'll find out at some point if I broke something. I don't know. We'll find out if I broke anything. Pretty sure that's pretty safe. We'll find out. All right, so now for you, can you build to me some of this? Is that right? Yeah. You can hammer that and hammer that. Nice. Okay, that's much cleaner looking. So in here, let's use you. That good? Yeah, like that. Trying to keep this place looking good, folks. I'm trying. Look at how good it looks. Okay, now we've got this nice dense cable sitting right here, so I can pop this dude right through here, okay, and connect into what will be our 4K crafting setup, right? So 1, 2, 3, it should be doable. I could probably just put this like right here. Yeah, and then we could connect these dudes. I could have like a 9. That would probably be neat, wouldn't it? Yeah, that could be cool. That could be cool. So like to start with, we'll have, and you don't want them to connect. You want to keep them separate. Because if you put these two together, it's one crafter that can handle twice as much complexity. So like generally you want to keep them separate, right? We also want co-processors at some point, which will allow it to craft multiple things at once. So I'm not ready to make those just yet, but we want to make sure that we have like room for them. So we'll want to make sure that whatever we do is ready for that to happen. So they could probably, yeah, we'll come up with a good way for them to work. For now, that's a sufficient little room. I might change it up. Oh, we'll see. Cool. We're going to be coming out further, so yeah. Okay, good. So now I can say, hey, I want glass, please. And it can start, and what it'll do is it'll put the glass in there. And then they automatically push back into the pattern provider. And when the pattern provider receives items, it sends it into the AE system. Cool. Okay. So the next thing we're going to want to do is set up this whole thing. Do you guys retain your... No, okay, they don't. They have the things there. Cool. Okay, so let's set this thing up. And this we'll probably also want. Now, we know we need like 5 across. I might need 6 across. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we squeeze it real tight in there, we can do that. No, we'll see. I'm also debating if I want more space for this dude, because I might decide I want more space for this dude. We'll see. We'll see. Might rearrange him a little bit too. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might want this to be a little bit larger. Might hammer this. Yeah, because what I might want to have is... I might want this to be in a 4x4 pattern. So what I would do is 1, 2, 3, 4, or like that. And then above, we could put another batch of 4. And that would probably be cool. I'd probably be fine with that. I might want... Yeah, I could make this work. Maybe. I don't know. Can I have one? Nah, I really need that layer to be the way it is, huh? Okay. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay. So now if I want a 6 across, let's get you back. I'll start this here. It doesn't need to be too deep into the wall. And what I might do is something like that. Should be cool. And then we can have you be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I probably want another inscriber. And the reason I want another inscriber is I'm going to be using this to also make Certus and Fluix dust. Okay? Cool. So for that, I'm going to want another 1, 2 of you, and another 4 of you, so that now all of you can get the nice speed upgrades that we're going to have. So basically the same setup we had upstairs, but this guy being dedicated to Certus and Fluix dust, and possibly a few other recipes that we might want, like basically like this recipe, and there might be other weird ones, right, that we need to automate. Okay. So would you look at that? We've pretty much wrapped up, or reached the wrapping up point for the episode. So let me get started with calculation, engineering, logic. Logic is my gold dude, right? So logic, engineering, calculator, silicon. And when we come back next episode, we will use this whole thing to get all automated with this setup. Is that cool? But for now, it's wrapping up point. So Darryl20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I have to decide if I want to run another set of 32 channels that way and drop it in the back. I'm thinking I will. So I'm thinking what I'll set up will be a nice little P2P system here, and I'll reorganize this setup. But we'll do that next episode. For now, wrapping up point. Darwell20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You know the deal. Take it easy.